Okay, I'm live now. This is not the original stream that I sent the link out to everybody. So I'm going to try and post this link in the other event, and I'm really sorry about this. Okay, I'm here, and I think this live stream is working now. I don't know what happened, but I did everything exactly the same as I did last week, and for some reason my camera, which is my phone in my studio, won't connect to that live stream that I set up and sent the link out to everybody. So this is a new one, and hopefully everybody will find us here. So if you haven't downloaded this image, if you want to follow along at home and paint this image with me, this is the one I sent out yesterday in the Creepy Cute Chronicles newsletter, so you can download it and paint along with me. I'm using Twinkling H2Os like I did last Sunday. Those are my favorite watercolors to paint with, and yeah, so oh, I need some light in here. 1 second. I'm sorry, I'm so flustered now after all that. So, okay. I'm painting on a 5x7 150 cold press watercolor paper, Strathmore, I believe. And I printed it 5x7, and so it's not too big. So I'm using probably maybe this one, maybe not. This is a number 12 flat. But mostly I'll be sticking with these brushes. I start with the bigger one and then work down to the smaller ones for the detail. And probably thinking that I would like to go with a pretty simple color palette. I'm picturing the bow in pink and the skeleton parts in white, obviously. And I'm kind of toss up between whether I want to do brown or black for the background. I'm kind of seeing it in black. I know that's kind of boring, but it could be fun because when I do black, I like to add in a hue of another color like purple or blue or something so that it's not just boring black and has, especially at the Twinkling H2Os, when the light hits that color, it may not look it at first, but when the light hits it just right, it won't look as black anymore. It'll look like a different color, and it's really cool. So that could be fun, actually. Yeah, actually I like that because we got the heart and the bow we could do in pink, and then white for the skelly parts, and then black, maybe with like a blue hue for the cookie part. And then I think I'm going to leave a white strip around the outside border, because that's how they traditionally paint or icing up those cookies, I think. I've never done it before, in all honesty, but okay. So I'm gonna start with the blue, I think, for the background of the cookie part, and go with this one's a pretty one. I like this. I think this is it. No, that's not this one. If you joined me last Sunday, then you know I these are that I'm using, because the labels have all come off the bottom, so I have no idea. But this blue is really fun because it's got a pink mica powders in it, so when the light hits it just right, it doesn't look blue anymore. It looks pink, and it's so neat. So that might be fun to go with the pink bow and heart. And with Twinkling H2Os, you really got to stir them up good to get all those mica powders settle at the bottom. So to get the true color of what these paints are meant to do, you've got to make sure you get all that mica from the bottom stirred into it. And really good. Okay. I didn't pre-paint this one like I did last week, because I actually ended up liking the first one that I did better than the one I painted on the live stream. So when I tried to replicate what I had done the first time, I didn't like it as much. So I'm gonna start with like I mentioned last week, I always start with adding the paint to the darkest area and then pulling it out to kind of blend it out into the lighter area. So I'm gonna make the darkest area along this line around here. And so the paint's pretty wet. I haven't wet my page down at all. I'm just using a pretty wet paint. And I'm going to use another brush. This flat one will work, actually. That's just damp. It's not overly wet, just damp, just so I can pull that color out towards the middle. If you wait till you go all the way around the cookie or whatever it is that you're painting, you're not gonna get a nice blend like that, because it'll dry up too much by the time you get to where you started. So I just like to do a little area at a time and then work my way around. That's getting a little bit dry because of my brush. It's drying out, but it's okay. I like the look of the watercolor, just how it naturally falls onto the page. I don't get too worked up about, I just like that natural look. Sometimes you can get some nice texture the way the paint lays if it's not perfect. This is just the first layer anyways, so we got more layers to go on top, so we're not really aiming for perfection, but I am going to try to avoid getting the blue on the white. Actually, I take that back. It doesn't really matter, because I'm going to shade the bones with blue for the white bones. So if we do get a little bit of blue on the edges of the bones, it's not a big deal. And I've reserved the 12 till 2 like last week, and I intend to continue doing that every Sunday. But with this one, I don't know, I don't think we're going to need that much time, but if we do, we've got it. Yeah, we're definitely going to need another layer of the blue on here for sure. And then we're going to do the black over top. And then probably put a little more blue on top of the black just to bring out the highlights and the light. Go around one more time. Got a little light in some areas. Right now I'm just re-wetting my brush. I'm not adding any extra paint to it. I just want to keep it nice and light for the center here. So just adding water to reanimate whatever little bit's left on the brush. And then I'm going to have to let this layer dry before we go over it again, because what will happen if you try to do, you either got to do all your layer, like the color, while it's still pretty wet before it's had a chance to dry at all, or you have to wait and till it does dry to do your next layer, because if it gets to a point where it's just started to dry and it hasn't fully dried yet, then when you go to add the paint over top of it, what'll happen is it'll just move the layer underneath of it, creating a white patch that won't accept paint anymore. So when you try and fill that white patch in, the paint around the white patch will keep getting darker, but the white patch won't accept the paint, and it'll just keep getting worse and worse and worse the more you try to fix it. So to avoid that happening, what you want to do is get your color down quickly before it's had a chance to dry at all, and if it has started to dry, then you just gotta wait. So wait till it dries fully, and then we'll go back and do a new layer, because once it's dried fully, then you can go over the top of it with your watercolor and it won't make those white spots. So at this point, it's started to dry, so I'm going to wait until that's dried before we do another layer on top of the blue. So in the meantime, I'll add the pink, do the pink on the bow and the hearts. So for that one, I'm going to use, I think it's this color. I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of a pinky purpley. Certain lights it looks really hot pink, and then in other lights it looks kind of light purple. I already have some mixed up in my palette over here, so. So the darkest area on the boat is going to be around the bottom and in where it connects to the center here. And then out along the edge. And the top would get the most light, so. And the heart, I'm just going to fill that one in for the first layer. Good. Okay, I think we can go over the blue with another layer. We start at the bottom this time. If you didn't join in last week, just for any new viewers, I'm going to kind of go over some of the stuff I talked about last week for anyone that might have missed it. And the reason that I take so much care and time to do so many layers of paint is because the final results are much more exceptional than if you just do a couple, like 1 or 2 layers. And the reason for that is they call it translucent layers. So you're building up your color in many translucent layers. And the reason this is so appealing at the final result is because when the light shines through all those translucent layers, I can't really explain the science of it, but if you took a painting that was just 1 or 2 layers and compared it to a painting, the same painting done with many translucent layers, it'll just, you may not even be able to put your finger on why it's so much more appealing to the eye, but it will be, and it's due to the refraction of light off of the different layers of colors and paints. I'm sorry that I can't explain it much better than that, but you can just even test it at home and see that you'll see when you look at it at the end how much more eye-popping it is. That's probably pretty good for now. And we can go over it with the black once it's dry. And while I'm waiting for that to dry for a minute, I check the comments, the live chat, because I didn't do that last time, and you guys had questions, so. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Doreen. Oh, you're very welcome. I hope everybody's enjoying them, and I look forward to taking you on a painting adventure every Sunday. We can test out some different stuff and have some fun. If you guys have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat, and I'll try and get to them on the live stream this time instead of after. I'm saving the bones. I'm saving the bones for last because, being that they are white, if I start adding water and paint to them now, they will be more likely to suck the paint into them when we're doing the rest of it. So if they're it's a lot easier to work around the white areas if you leave them dry, because the watercolors have the tendency to always go towards more water and where the paint is and where the water is. So if you leave them dry and void of paint, then it's easier to keep them clean until the end. So I always do the white stuff of any painting last. So I think it's dry enough now that we can go over. It's a little sticky. Okay. I already have some black mixed up in my palette, so it's pretty watered down, so it's probably going to look a little gray at first. Oh yeah. And same as the blue, I'm just gonna start on the edge. This is a lot more watered down than the blue was, so. Definitely gonna start off looking very gray at first. We'll have to build that black up. That's okay. I've also been thinking that maybe one of these weekends we'll do a mixed media painting instead of just using the watercolors. We could use the watercolors and some, like the Twinkling H2Os and some other, I like, when I do mixed media, I really like to mix my Twinkling H2Os with other watercolor products like gelatos or neocolors or both. Ink. I use the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay India ink. Love it. Goes on like a watercolor, but then dries permanent. I'm always applying the paint straight from the palette to the edges and then working it out from there. Is everybody ready for Christmas? Oh my god, it snuck up on me so quick this year. And I really, really owe big thanks to my mother-in-law for helping me out, or I never would have been ready on time, like at all. A huge thank you to her for coming to the rescue. Okay, I am loving how that's looking already. Got quite a few layers to go to get it to be black, but it's already given the black with that blue underneath is already giving it a beautiful effect. And I think I'm gonna add some fresh black from the pot to my palette. It's pretty watery. Gotta figure out which one it is. Some of these colors look really dark. They look almost black when they're not stirred. Oh, that's green. Maybe that's it. That's green too. Yeah, I really need a new storage solution for my paints so that this doesn't happen again. I've got hundreds of dollars worth of Twinkling H2O here, and I really don't know what any of the colors are until I start them up. Oh, I think I found it. It might be gray. Stirring it up, I'll find out here. I think it's black. Yep, I think it is. Okay, good. Okay, so got some black now. Add it to my palette. And then we'll do another. This layer should go a little darker. That's perfect. I don't want to go completely solid black all the way around because I want to be able to add in some shadows underneath all the bones. We're listening to Hobo Johnson on the radio today. And drinking a morning Maxwell, yeah, wait, Tassimo Maxwell House morning blend coffee in my mug today. Every day. I don't function unless I've had a couple gallons of coffee in the morning. Okay. I am digging how this color's turning out. Now, I'm going to let it dry before we go back in. And that's going to be the last layer that I cover the whole background in. From here on out, I'm going to be working it back to the shadows. And so the lightest area of the background will be this color. And we can add in highlights with the white. At the end I use the Dr. P.H. Martin's pen white ink to add in my highlights because this is a really opaque, nice fluid white. I've tested so many on the market over the years, and I have not found anything I like better than this. It's so fluid and you can get nice fine lines and wisps of highlights and that in it. On any other color paint, doesn't matter what you're putting it on, it is opaque. Like, it's opaque enough to use as like a whiteout. If you wanted to completely white out black ink, you could do that and you wouldn't see it. So this is awesome. So we will use that at the end to add in our highlights. Just waiting for this to dry now so we can go back in and start adding in our shadows. It's at that ugly stage right now. And it'll start coming together from here on out. Some of my bones got a bit color on them, but that's okay because, again, this to the rescue. Hopefully by next week I'll get this sorted out, what happened with the live stream, why the went all funky like that. I don't know what happened, but okay, so it's dry now. I'm going to need darker black. That's it. Should really separate that from the rest so I don't have that problem again. Okay, I've got pretty dark black now, and I'm gonna start working in those shadows, so going along the edge. And use my damp brush to, well, not too damp, wasn't dry enough. Okay, so the bottom layer wasn't dry enough. If if my brush is too wet, too much water, it's gonna create those white spots I talked about earlier. So it's okay. Just work around that. It just means that I can't use as much water as I normally would. Keep the paint a bit on the drier side. Or stop and wait for it to dry, but at this point I want to work in the paint that I already applied. I don't want to let that dry. You can pretty much see it as soon as you start to add the paint, and if you start to see the layer underneath reanimate, you should just stop, because you're going to create those white spots that are going to drive you nuts to try and get rid of. Since that leg went pretty good, and to keep it looking the same look all the way around, I'll just continue on the same way. And because there's nothing worse than sitting there watching paint dry, so I'm not going to do that to you. Keep it moving. Glad I went with the black. I almost went with the brown. I was really leaning towards brown before the live stream started, but not reluctantly though. I really wasn't happy about doing it in brown, but I was having trouble imagining it any other way. But this is not a conventional gingerbread girl, is it? So it's okay if we don't use conventional colors. Even if I was to do this in brown, like if you wanted to do the cookie part in brown, you could still follow this technique, of course, with the brown. And you could even do the bottom layer in blue with the brown over top, and that would give it a nice effect as well. Blue and brown look great together. And like, you don't really even see that blue layer so much unless the light hits it just right, and that's when it really pops. So now I'm starting to carve in the shadows underneath the bones. I don't know why that one's bothering me so much more than all the others, but a wet brush will get rid of some of those mistakes. So I'm taking all my shadows to the southeast, and all my highlights will be to the northwest. Really, even if you don't know a lot about, like, studied a lot about the shadows and highlights and proper placement and that, you can really get away with not knowing much about it, and as long as you keep them all going in the same direction, you know, it'll look pretty decent. Okay. So I'm trying to let you see the effects of that layering with the blue under the black. The camera's not really picking up the color as much as it is in real life. Still a bit wet too, so once it's all dry at the very end, I'm gonna go through and add the blue back on top of the black in the lighter areas. Not much, just like the smallest amount, just to help bring out that. It's actually picking up the pink part of the blue, I think, more in this case. Either way, I like it. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm thinking about how I'm going to do this white border along the edge, because I didn't really want it to be this whole white. I kind of wanted it to look like that white, like, outline, so we'd still have more black around the edge. And I think that the best way for me to do that I think I'm going to take a thin brush. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a tiny brush, And I'm going to go with a nice dark black, and I'm just going to go along the very edge. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And with a white or a small wet brush, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going through the first time, just laying down the black with a thin brush, and then going over it with a wet brush to blend it out, and then I'll come back after with a thin dark layer along the edge, the outermost edge. Trying to keep it as close to the outer edge so that I maintain that white border. The white border should not be all the way to the edge, if that makes sense. Oops. I'm just thinking now, take it one step further at the end and make this white border a sparkly white border. That might be cute. almost there. Okay. That was long and tedious. I don't blame you, the people that left. Okay, so I'm gonna go back around one more time, just with a nice dark black around the closest to the outer edge as I can get. This one's gonna go a lot faster. I don't need 2 brushes for this one. Okay. Go a little darker on the shadows underneath the... Oh, no, that didn't just happen. No worries. I got this. Okay. So I'm going to fix that by taking a small wet brush. Going to come at it from this side and work it back to the edge. Work the paint back to the edge. And with any luck, it'll be like it never happened. Close enough. We're good. Sorry about that. Yeah, lost another viewer. That's okay. Okay. Not gonna do that again. So I'm just gonna take, going as close to the bones this time with nice dark black. And I'm not gonna pull it out quite as far as I pulled out the first shadow. That'll give it a nice fade into the bone. It's the best way to carve out your shadows, I find. It's just always working it darker, darker, darker to the edge of whatever it is. Each layer gets a little bit shorter than the last. And then at the end you end up with a nice gradient. And I am gonna not be here for a week. I'm leaving on January 3rd to go on a vacation. So that Sunday, between January 3rd and January 10th, I won't be doing a live stream. But other than that, I intend on doing this every Sunday. That should be the only Sunday for all of 2019 that I won't be doing it. So if you want to, like, I'm happy to take requests if there's certain images that you want to see me paint. Just reply to the Creepy Cute Chronicles newsletter and let me know which images you would like me to paint on the live stream, and I'm happy to take your requests. Okay, and go back to the pink. Do another layer of the same color pink on the heart and bow. And bear with me. For the shadows on the bow, I think I'm going to go with the same blue that we started with for the base of the cookie to add in the shadows on the heart and the bow. Yeah, I like that. It'll be the same blue that I use for the shadows on the bones too, so that'll kind of bring it all together nicely. Okay. Cool. So for the white of the bones, I think I'm gonna just go with the white Twinkling H2O and see if I can, if I didn't get too much of the other paint on them. This should work out. Just because it has a nice shine, whereas the PH Martins is opaque, but it's matte, so I like it just for the highlights, but for all over color, I'm gonna go with the white Twinkling H2O, and I need a bigger brush. Not too worried about paint getting on the eyes of the skull because I'll be going over that in black at the end anyways, so. Okay. Let that dry. Oh, did I get the middle? No, I forgot the middle. Okay. From here on out, we're really just carving out the details now. The pink to pop more. Gonna add in a bit of a hot pink. just not popping enough for me. Okay, and I take this hot pink and go over the blue shadows. Hopefully this will help it to pop more. That's a little better. Going to do a bit of white. Try and wash off the black on the white part of the bow, which was supposed to be a highlight. Now it's black on it. So I'm just going to take a tiny wet brush and try and lift that off. Nice. It's lifting off pretty easily. Perfect. Just taking a bit of black to smooth out behind the bow up here because the shape's kind of getting lost. It wouldn't really be a shadow, so I'm just bringing in the same color to smooth that out a bit. There. That should be better. Yep, and I'll do the same thing around the heart. You know what? I'm probably going to do the same thing around all the bones. Everything, yeah. Looks a lot nicer. somebody's here. Hello? Hi. I'm on a live stream right now.
Huh?
I'm on a live stream right now.
Oh, because Lizzy wants to see you. Could you come in?
I'm painting on a live stream right now.
Lizzy.
I'm really sorry. I'm like, give me just one, like not even 1 minute, 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I'm back. I'm very sorry. Okay. Today is not my day at all. Okay. But despite that, I am happy with how this is all turning out. Last week I pre-painted that, as I think I said at the beginning. I pre-painted it. And I actually liked the first one that I did better than the second one where I tried to replicate what I did the first time. So I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. Because it's probably better if I take you through my actual experience, like the decision making and that goes into it. Take you through the whole process that way instead of doing it first and then, yeah. That way, if I make a mistake, we work through it together. Like what happened down here. So, yeah, I think that works out a lot better. So this is all very new to me, and I really appreciate you bearing with me. And I look forward to your feedback too. Like, help me to make this better for you guys. So let me know in the comments what you liked and what you didn't like. Because if I'm doing something that's not good that you don't like, let me know, and then I can work through it. And hopefully make these really like added value for you, so that you're not wasting your time and I'm not wasting my time and everybody gets something from it. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to add in the shadows to the bones, and I'm going to use this blue that we started with, the blue, pinky blue. Wish I knew what color it was, because then you could get it and you'd love it because it's amazing. So southeast, applying the blue on the white, just in the southeast portions. Those are where I've decided, whoops, that was a bit much. That's where I've decided my shadows are. know it's almost Christmas Eve, so everybody's probably super busy today, rushing around, getting last minute stuff together, so I really appreciate you tuning in despite that. About that, drop my brush. And can't forget the shadow under the bow. And around the eyes, just going to be pulling that shadow the southeast. Oh my gosh. Her fingers today. Just going along and darkening up the edges of these shadows. So always with my first layer, I blend and smooth out, and then every layer from that's going to be not come out as far, so they're going to be just darkening up the edges. It really is the easiest way to achieve a nice gradient without having to focus too hard on the blending part of it. Okay. I like that. I'm going to go back in with the black now and do the eyes and go around the bow and the heart. one time. Okay. Oh. Going to go around everything, actually, like all the bones, the bow, and the heart with a nice solid black. And then I think we'll be ready for the highlights. And we'll be done. And I'm pretty sure this is how I will do it for now on. I'm not going to pre-paint it anymore. We'll paint it for the first time together. And again, I'm happy to take requests for which image. I've got 500 digital stamps in my collection now, so if you want to put in your request of which one you want to see me paint on Sunday, you can leave it in the comments of this live stream or last week's or any live stream that I do, or you could reply to the Creepy Cute Chronicles newsletter where I send out a free image every Friday night. If you aren't signed up to get that newsletter, you can do so at creepycuteart.com. Sign up. And then every Friday night, you'll get the Creepy Cute Chronicles newsletter where we send out a free Creepy Cute download, and the Oddball design team shares inspiration, tutorials, any special events or challenge, any swaps we have going on. That's the place to stay in the know. And be the first to receive any freebies, any special offers, and all of our tutorials, how-tos. And on the creepycuteart.com website, you can also join in the Oddball Forum and share your own creations. If you follow along on these live stream paint and want to share your painting, I would love to see it. I know the Oddball design team girls, they want to love to see it too, so you can join us there and share your own makes. I hope you do. almost done. And I am really happy with it. I'm so glad I didn't do brown. Okay, so use the Dr. Peach Martin's pen white now. And shake it up real good. I'm using my same fine liner brush. And I'm going to start with the bow. And highlights are going to be northwest. And just a little bit between the crinkles of the bow. It just helps to make that pop a little bit. Heart, I'm just going to do along the northwest top. For that one, I'm going to pull it. I want to have it blended into the good. And I think for the eyes, we would have a little bit of light hitting, because the black, it's actually what, like, hollow, it's open, right? So the skelly. Smooth out the inside of that a bit with some more black. Oh. Yeah, I like that. And for the white border around the edge, actually I'm going to do the bones first. I'm not doing all over the bones, I'm just doing basically the tops of them because black paint got on them and they're really messy. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but the tops of them are really got a lot of shadows that they shouldn't, which was not intentional. So this will correct that. I don't know what this is that got on it, so I'll cover that up. looks a lot better. And I'm going to do the same thing with the border around the outside edge. Help clean that up a bit. Whoops. About that, knock that off the table. Okay. I'm going to try and get a nice line around the edge, so clean my, even though it's the same color, same paint, but just clean my brush off. So nice clean brush and fluid paint to work with, and just gonna clean this line up around the edge. And then I've got some glitter glue that, or glitter, or Stardust glitter paint that I want to do this border in. Okay. And I think for just for some fun for this basically a Christmas live stream, I am going to give this painting away to somebody. If you would like to win this painting, leave a comment on this video. Once the live stream's done, it'll be posted to my YouTube channel, so if you're not here to watch it during the live stream, you can watch the replay and leave your comment. And when I get back from my vacation on the 10th, well, I won't do it on the 10th because I don't know what time my flight's coming in or anything, but I'll be coming back on the 10th. So after the 10th, maybe give me a day or two to get unpacked. Like by the 13th of January, let's say on the 13th of January, I will draw the winner. So just leave a comment on this video, and I will choose a winner from all the comments. And if I choose you, then I will send you this painting in the mail. Okay, I like that. So we're almost done. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to do a little bit of a shadow on the outside around the cookie. And to do that, I'm going to use this brush and a really, really diluted watercolor. I think I'll go with. It goes the same blue that we've been using. For this, I'm actually using way more water than I am paint. I don't want it to be too overpowering, just a bit of color from behind, help it pop. And not complete without some splatter, so take the same, not overly diluted, but fluid. Okay. Oh, sorry. We are good. I think maybe a bit of pink is in order. Yeah. Not gonna overdo it. Good. And where's that sparkle? Okay. Glamour Dust Ultra Fine Glitter Paint from Deco Art. Love, love, love this stuff. Adds such a gorgeous shimmer to things. Sorry, bear with me and hit it with the dryer one. This close to being done, it would be a shame to muck it up now. I wonder how we're doing for time. Oh wow, even with the late start. 1:54, so perfect timing. So I'm just gonna take this white around this glitter. It's not white, but it's kind of white. It's glitter paint around the edge. Using a nice fine brush again. this is what it looks like. It does look white, but it's like really glittery. It's just really fine glitter dust. So I'm not sure how well the camera will pick this glitter up, but we'll find out in a minute. Yeah, this is exactly what this border needed. Perfect. Oops. Okay, that's good. Yeah, add just a little touch of this to the highlights on the bow and the heart. That'd be nice. The Twinkling H2Os are so twinkly on their own, but this does have a really nice glitter to it. So, okay. I think that's it. I think we're good. We're done. So that's it. So if you follow along and paint this image, I can't wait to see what you do with it. So please join us in the Oddball forum at creepycuteart.com and post your creations that you made with oddball stamps. And it doesn't even have to be this one. If you're at home practicing with other images, other oddball stamps, we have rubber stamps, digital stamps, bottle caps. You know, post whatever you're making with them because we love to see them. So I'm not sure what day, if there's another Sunday before I leave. If there's another Sunday before January 3rd, I will do another live stream before I leave, but if not, I won't be back until the 10th, so. So yeah, so that's it. I didn't have a chance to see your comments. Let me see. Maybe I can answer them real quick right now. If there's any questions. Hattie's Scrap Place. Hi, Hadji. Doreen. Doreen, does this effect work with all watercolors, or is it just the Twinkling H2Os? It should work with all watercolors. The Twinkling H2Os are they're just watercolor. The only difference is they have this mica, the mica powders, mixed into the water with the pigment, which makes them twinkle. But other than that, they are just a watercolor, so the technique should be the same regardless of what watercolors you're using. Let's see. Any more questions? Yes, Kimberly, multiple layers does add depth to the painting big time. Okay, I think that's all of them. Okay, so I am going to call this a day. And if you want to win this painting when I get back from my vacation, leave a comment on this video, and I choose one winner from the comments at random when I come back on January 13th. I will choose. Yeah, okay, you know what? Scratch that. On the next live stream, when I get back, the Sunday after the 10th, whatever day that is, I don't have a calendar in front of me, I will announce the winner on the next live stream that I do when I get back from my vacation on the 10th. So whatever Sunday, whatever day that is, the Sunday after the 10th. If the 10th is Sunday, I don't know. It won't be that day. It'll be the Sunday after that. So I will announce the winner, which will be somebody who's left a comment on this video, to win this painting. And it can be anywhere in the world. I'll ship it worldwide. So wherever you are, leave a comment and you could win. Okay? Okay, thank you for joining me, everybody. And I really, really appreciate it. And I really appreciate you bearing with me. And hopefully we'll get this figured out next time. Won't have so many difficulties at the beginning. And yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. Okay, bye.